Chapter 30 Public Facilities and Development. Let's learn. Public Facilities, 5-year plans, 12th 5-year plan, agriculture, industries, education, sanitation and health, housing and employment, rural development, recent development. Public facilities, as the name implies, are generally regarded as the responsibility of the government. The government is responsible for the development of our country. Today, the concept of government is welfare-oriented. Public facilities are defined as those basic services which are utilized by general public without any discrimination. Public facilities satisfy individual as well as community needs, including safety and security, communication, recreation, sport, education, health, public administration, religious, cultural and social activities. Some crucial sectors of the Indian economy are agriculture, industry and commerce, finance, communication and information technology, education, health and family welfare. Systematic economic development is possible through proper planning. Since 1947, the Indian economy has been premised on the concept of planning. This has been carried through the 5-year plans developed, executed and monitored by the Planning Commission. Info-Hive. The framers of our constitution knew the importance of planned development. Thus, the Planning Commission was constituted on 15 March 1950. It has now been replaced by Niti Aayog. 5-year plans. The common methods adopted for development of infrastructure are long-term plans, as many projects cannot be completed in a short time. These long-term plans are popularly called the 5-year plans, and they have helped in building infrastructure and effecting development in different fields of national life. Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Indian Prime Minister, presented the first 5-year plan to the Parliament of India on December 8, 1951. Till now, the Planning Commission has developed 12 5-year plans and 6 annual plans. 12th 5-year plan 2012 to 2017. The main theme of 12th plan is faster, sustainable and more inclusive growth. Other objectives of the 12th 5-year plan are to provide electricity to all villages, to decrease malnutrition among children aged 0 to 3 years, to enhance access to higher education, to remove gender and social gap in school enrollment, to ensure that 50% of rural population has access to proper drinking water, to provide access to banking services to 90% households, to create 50 million new work opportunities in the non-farm sector, to increase green cover by 1 million hectare every year. The government has to look after all areas of social, economic and national life when considering projects for development. However, special attention is paid to agriculture, education, industry, generation of employment, infrastructure, health and science and technology. Brain tickler. Has planning helped in systematic development of our country? Agriculture. Agriculture is the support-based component of Indian economy. Agricultural products like spices, sugar and tea are also important export items. The first 5-year plan gave the highest priority to the agricultural sector. Rural economic growth has to be enhanced by sustained agricultural growth and development of rural areas by providing rural infrastructure and amenities. Land reforms were introduced. The zamindari system was abolished and land was redistributed in a more equitable manner. A balanced regional development can be achieved through agro-dependent sectors. For all perishable products, investments and institutional developments are more important than subsidies or price support systems. Forest economies and tribal societies need greater protection and promotion. The Green Revolution helped in increasing the agricultural production by introducing farmers to modern agricultural machinery, high-yielding variety HYV seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides and irrigation. Modern agricultural machinery. Implements like the plough and trowel were earlier used by farmers to till their land. In time, new and more efficient machines like tractors, sowing drills, threshers and harvesters were introduced. High-yielding variety seeds. The Green Revolution in late 60s and 70s brought in high-yielding variety seeds, especially for wheat and rice, which helped increase food production considerably. The National Seeds Corporation, State Farms Corporation of India Limited, and other state seed agencies implement seed multiplication programs for cereals, pulses, oilseed, fiber, fodder crops, and potatoes. Fertilizers and pesticides. The use of fertilizers was promoted to increase land fertility. Manufacturing units producing chemical fertilizers were set up in Sundry, Trombay, Neyveli, Rourkela, and Nangal under the public sector. Use of pesticide to control crop losses due to pests and insects was also introduced. Brain tickler. Why are most of the private hospitals and private schools located in major cities and not in towns or rural areas? The Department of Agricultural Research and Education was set up in 1973 under the Ministry of Agriculture. The Indian Council of Agricultural Research, ICAR, has also played a major role in the development of agricultural technology. Industries. The progress of industrialization over the last 6 decades after independence, particularly in post-liberalization period, has been a striking feature of India's economic development. A wealthy nation needs well-developed industries to provide abundant and cheaply available facilities of life to its citizens. Industries contributed only 10% of the Indian economy in 1950 to 1951. Only after the 5-year plans introduced a program of industrial development did a great change take place in industrialization. A large number of industries were set up under the 5-year plans. These included iron and steel, cement, fertilizers and chemicals, railway wagons, pharmaceuticals, etc. There has been an outstanding growth in the textile and sugar industries. Besides, shipbuilding, aeroplane manufacturing, and telephone industries have also been set up. The government has begun efforts to develop the cottage industries and the small-scale industries. Items like handloom, toys, baskets, ropes, etc. are manufactured by cottage industries. Small-scale industries can be set up faster than large-scale industries, and they also help to generate employment. These industries produce consumer goods like soaps, hosiery, hand tools and utensils, etc. Some small-scale industries also serve as ancillary industries for bigger industries. For example, a small-scale unit producing clutch plates and supplying these to an automobile manufacturer. The government encourages small-scale industries through these incentives. Small-scale units are given tax benefits. Special tax waivers are given to them in backward regions. Some products are reserved for exclusive manufacture by small-scale industries. Special training facilities are given to set up small-scale units. Public and private sectors. Public sector refers to government-owned organizations and government-provided goods and services. The infrastructure developed by the public sector has helped achieve the present pace of development. Goods and services are provided at a comparatively cheaper prices than those offered by the profit-making private sector companies. InfoHive. There is also a joint sector where the government and private companies join hands to establish new enterprises. Some public sector industries are Coal India Limited CIL, Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited BHEL, and Steel Authority of India Limited SAIL. Most of these heavy industries needed a lot of investment which the private sector could not afford to make. Hence, the government set these up with the money from taxes paid by the citizens and profits of other public sector units. InfoHive. A country in which the private sector is predominant is called open economy. The private sector refers to organizations that are non-government owned, the goods and services provided by organizations outside the government. It comprises business activities by private individuals where profit earning is the main motive. Some of the private sector industries are Tata Motors, Reliance Petrochemicals, Sun Pharma, etc. Social sector. Unfortunately, many industries in the public sector are not being run well and they are making losses. Therefore, the economists are of the view that these industries should be transferred to the private sector. The government too has agreed to transfer some of the loss-making industries to the private sector, and the money raised from this privatization is being utilized for developing infrastructure and funding other welfare measures for the people. The government also looks into the social welfare of people. It works towards ensuring the availability of safe drinking water, sanitation, education, and housing to all its citizens. Education. Education, being a vital sector in 5-year plans, has to be now emphasized more in terms of accessibility, affordability, and quality. The employability is to be increased for optimum utilization of human resources. Improvement in educational infrastructure, research and development. Vocational education will need to be given greater emphasis and made more attractive. Skill development needs a major focus at all levels. The Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan SSA started in 2001. It is a Government of India's flagship program for achievement of universalization of elementary education UEE in a time-bound manner, as mandated by 86th Amendment to the Constitution of India, making free and compulsory education to all the children of 6 to 14 years age group a fundamental right. Sanitation. Government of India has been promoting sanitation coverage in a campaign mode to ensure better health and quality of life for people in rural India. To add vigor to its implementation, GOI launched an award-based incentive scheme for fully sanitized and open defecation-free Gram Panchayats, blocks, districts and states called Nirmal Gram Puruskar NGP in 2002. In urban areas, recycling and reuse of sewage is encouraged. Health. Health is a basic need, so many steps were taken to ensure treatment and prevention of diseases in India. For this, medical schools for providing medical education, research and development of medical equipment and medicines were established. Establishment of primary health centers and hospitals in different parts of the country also took place. The National Rural Health Mission NRHM is an initiative undertaken by the Government of India to address the health needs of rural areas. It started in 2005. Similarly, the National Urban Health Mission was launched to provide health care for the urban poor living in the slums. Employment. The National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme 2006 guarantees 100 days of employment in a financial year to any rural household whose adult members are willing to do unskilled manual work. This is an important step towards the realization of the right to work. Housing. The Basic Service to the Urban Poor BSUP program is a centrally sponsored scheme tackling the suboptimal living conditions of urban poor in 54 mission cities, the cities with over 1 million population and housing the state capitals of India. Integrated housing and slum development programs, IHSDP, have also been introduced. These programs aim to provide facilities, basic services and other civic amenities to the urban poor. To meet the shortage of rural housing, Indira Awas Yojana was launched in rural areas. Rural development. Bharat Nirman is a business plan for rural infrastructure which was implemented by the Government of India in order to provide some basic amenities to rural India. The objectives of the plan are as follows. The plan includes covering 40% of the rural areas with telecommunication facilities. It suggests to construct all-weather roads in order to connect all the villages of India having a minimum population of 500 to 50 in case of hilly or tribal areas. The plan aims to provide electricity to every village and also to provide an additional 1 crore hectare of irrigated land. Public facilities relate to our basic needs, and the Indian Constitution recognizes the right to water, health, education, etc. as being a part of the right to life. Thus, one of the major roles of government is to ensure adequate public facilities for everyone. Recap. Systematic economic development is possible through proper planning. The common methods adopted for development of infrastructure are long-term plans, as many projects cannot be completed in a short time. These long-term plans are popularly called the 5-year plans. National Urban Health Mission was launched to provide health care for the urban poor living in the slums. Public facilities relate to our basic needs, and the Indian Constitution recognizes the right to water, health, education, etc. as being a part of the right to life.